Grand Grand Rising. Couldn't tell if it was afternoon or evening. They have dogs next door. Or they're not next door, they're actually directly behind my house. And them some little most of the time I think they're scared. There's a hawk that stays in their tree and I think they're scared of that hawk. Yeah, one of them's kind of small. But anyway, I had interesting dreams. I had two interesting dreams this week. I was trying to charge the other phone so I can get the meanings, but that phone is not charging, so it's okay. I still want to tell you about them because I got a new chapstick. It has a pink tint. That looks terrible. At least I know. But anyways, I the first dream, I can't really tell you much. I didn't, if you don't write it down, sometimes it kind of escapes your mind. But what stuck with me is one of my cousins. Okay, the main cousin that I speak about on this channel, her brother was anorexic and bulimic. The other two siblings also had body dysmorphia, but they were like drinking whipped cream or heavy cream and stuff like that because they wanted to get thicker. They were really thin. And so one of them, I haven't seen her in years, but before I even left, because she lived in Georgia. She was extremely thin. Like I haven't seen her this thin since she was a teenager, you know? And the whole family is there. This is not like the dream where there's so many people in the house that it's full. It's just this particular extended family, them, my aunt, okay, on my mother's side. Everybody on my mother's side was there. And the most important thing that just stood out to me was that my cousin was extremely thin, like sickly thin. Like I haven't seen her like that since she was a teenager. She's in her 40s now. I don't remember the context. I don't remember if they were talking to me. I don't recall what it was. Just everyone was there. Okay. So then we have the second dream. The second dream was my father. And this one's a little weird. This one's really weird. Okay. First, I get on the number 2 bus here. Okay. The number 2 bus doesn't go anywhere near Columbus, but I get on the number 2 bus and I end up in Columbus. Okay. I'm in Columbus and I get a scooter and I'm scootering down the road. I'm scootering all over the place. I'm scootering past Walmart on Main Street. Okay. Worst Walmart there ever could be in the world. Okay. In the world. I haven't been to every Walmart, but I'm pretty sure that Walmart is the worst Walmart in the world. And I'm looking at the time. I look at the time. I'm like, oh shit, I missed the bus. I can't get back. That was the last bus for the night. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in Columbus. And somehow I end up at my home in Canal Winchester. And I'm there. And I'm going through a box. Nobody's there. I'm going through a box. I see that my dad is seeing someone. He's got a picture with somebody. Um, and then I find like all these screenshots of, it looks like stuff from my phone for real, because they look like screenshots I've taken before of like certain tarot readings that I would take. One of them, her name, I addressed her in some of these. There was some videos that I made about how what covert racism looks like. She was a tarot reader, I guess. She no longer makes videos, but that one was very distinct. She's there. There's her picture there. And then my dad shows up and he gives me a check for $99,000. And I woke up. Those were the two dreams. Both my family, I've had dreams of my family, which I haven't actually dreamt of them in a while. One of the dreams, I mean, I think the video is called Dream Time, where we're going through all of my dreams, and I dreamt of my aunt in a house. Come to find out, okay, come to find out about that dream. I said in that dream, I went into, it looked like a homeless shelter's bathroom, because I've been in shelters where it's like a communal type bathroom, and there was all types of like afterbirth stuff, like the squirt bottle they give you, and the big ass fucking undies and stuff like that. Come to find out, that cousin did have a baby. Now, she wasn't in the dream, okay, but my aunt was in the dream. Her daughter had a baby. That she had a baby. So I guess I dreamt about it. I don't know. you know. So I'm very interested to see what this other shit is. What it means. That, like I said, I can't look up the symbolism in the dream, but it is concerning that the one cousin is very skinny in this dream. Um, it doesn't necessarily mean she's unwell or anything like that. It's just, has she improved from the body dysmorphia, I guess. So I had those two dreams. Upon having that dream, I came to a memory because I've stated that I'm the scapegoat in the family, right? And it came to a memory of finding out that my father was cheating. Okay, I would get in trouble for that. I did get in trouble for that. Okay, so here's the story. It happened twice, but they caught me once. Okay, I had a chore of cleaning my dad's car out before church on Sundays. That was like my chore. I always, every Sunday, I would go out and I would clean up his car. Um, and one particular time, I found a bottle of Viagra that was filled in Michigan. So I knew, okay, I knew he was cheating. And I kept the bottle because it was in the glove box. My mom's about to sit in the glove box, so I'm gonna take this fucking bottle. And I took it and I put it in my room. Then I was on the computer one day when he got an email, and I saw the email. Okay, this is actually what made them give us our own accounts, because we used to use his account. Then we got our own account, and it was talking about a woman in Florida, because he had a friend in Florida, and he would go with that friend, and he would be gone. Commonly he would leave on Tuesdays, and he was supposed to be back on weekends, but sometimes he would not come back. He would go to Florida and hang out with his friend. So I see this email about him supposed to be leaving to go to like New Year's and hang out with his friend and this lady. And I'm like, that sounds fishy. So I wrote about it in my journal. Well, when they read my journal, I got in trouble because she found out he was cheating. They were going through my room. They were going through my stuff. Why do you have this bottle of Viagra? Well, I was trying to protect you. I got grounded. I got grounded because my father was cheating. So these are just like some more examples of how everything is my fault. How is it my fault that you can't keep your dick in your pants? I mean, I'm just saying. But I only just remembered that when I had this dream about him, because I seen him. There's a picture of him with a woman. I don't know who that woman is, but it's not the most recent girlfriend that I know of, and that was years and years ago. That was he actually when he I made a video about my housing problems, but I took that video down because I didn't like how I was speaking in it. I wasn't speaking bad about anybody or anything. There's just certain phrases or things I said that I didn't feel comfortable with anymore. Once I said it and looked at it, I was like, I didn't like that. But I was speaking on how my dad had came. My dad initially kicked me out the house, which forced me to live with my child's father. And then my child's father kicked me out the house so he could sleep with my coworkers. So I ended up in this little apartment that was subleased. I subleased it, and my son's dad's grandfather put his name on the lease for me, co-signed for me. So I'm in that apartment, and he actually s- tried to say that I was the reason that he broke up with his girlfriend, when and that he had brought me into his home, like he forced me to move out of that apartment. I didn't have to move out of that apartment. I had money coming. I could have paid the year off. He forced me to leave that apartment. I came home one day and he was moving my shit, and there's really nothing I could do about it, type shit. You know, I'm young. I'm like 23, maybe 24. My sister was also living there. He forced us to go move with him. And he would try to say that it's our fault because we couldn't manage when we could have, as to why he broke up with his girlfriend. Her name was Tammy. And his relationship with Tammy is how I realized that he wasn't a good guy. He had a conversation with me. Okay, this is one of the first times when I'm realizing my dad is not shit. Ew. I would never. But I did, because those subliminals and those covert things that they do are actually the things that you fall in love with within other people. So I didn't realize how bad my dad was, but a reflection, the men I dated are literally the reflection of who he really is, right? So he asked me my opinion on a situation that he was going through. He was asking his girlfriend to do something. He didn't tell me specifically what it was, but he just gave it. This is how he gave it. He said, "Yeah, I'm asking my girlfriend to do A, B, and C, and then once she does A, B, and C, I'll do A, B, and C for her." Okay, but she's not willing to do A, B, and C. She's willing to do like A, and she's telling me that, we should just, I give her A, she gives me A, and we do it like that, and that's reciprocal. That's fine. I don't really see a problem with what she was asking for, right? But he goes, she won't do it because she's afraid that if she gives me A, B, and C, that I'll ask. And I said, you'll ask for D, E, and F before you give her A, B, and C. He's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see it. He wasn't trying to reciprocate at all. He wasn't trying to reciprocate at all. And I told him that he was wrong. But that was like the first thing that I ever noticed. I was like, that sounds fucked up. I don't think my dad's really actually that good a guy. And then as I lived with him this particular time, it should have. The thing is, when he kicked me out, that should have been the sign that he wasn't a good guy, because that time that he kicked me out was actually because he had propositioned me and I didn't respond. Like, he propositioned me. He was in the kitchen, I was in the living room. I'm sleep. I'm laying with my back turned towards him. He's asking me to come into his room, and I just act like I was asleep. After that, he kicked me out within 2 weeks. Okay. And he had also previously, maybe a month before that, he had exposed himself to me. Okay. So I should have recognized that he was bad from that, but I kind of just, you kind of block it out in your mind. You try to act like that's not what happened. I misunderstood. Maybe he was on the phone. Maybe he didn't know I was in the house, but he knew I was in the house. He knew I was in the house. You had to go into his room to get to the bathroom, which was the most annoying. It was just me and him living there. My sister did end up living there too, but it was just he and I living there with my son, okay, Jeremiah. And the floor plan that he chose, there were so many other types of apartments that he could have got. He got one where I had to go into his room to go to the bathroom, and that particular day, I went, I heard he was in the shower, I knocked, he answered me. I said, "Hey dad, it's me, I'm here, I'm little." He answered me. Okay, "I hear you." Blah, blah, blah. And then he came out and he laughed. I was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck are you doing?" Like, shocked. He laughed. So it's random, but this is the dream has now brought me back to all these little things about my dad. So in this other apartment, more things, finding out kind of how he was blaming me and my sister for his relationship falling apart, when really, possibly, based off the things he was saying, it was probably just him being a dick. you know, because that's all. He's a serial cheater. He met that woman in a fucking airport on a work trip. he was dating her. I don't know if he was dating her during their relationship, but based off some of the things I've heard, he probably was, you know, and I caught him multiple times cheating on my mom. And every time it was my fault. If I wrote about it in my journal, which you're not even supposed to be reading, it's my fault. So those two dreams, I'm very interested to see what they mean. I'm wondering if these are like premonitions or whatever. Don't know why I ended up in Columbus in this dream, or in front of Walmart, which is the worst Walmart in the world. But that's all I had to say today. You guys have a good day.